Hey everybody, how's it going tonight? My name's Ian Gibbs, and our discussion tonight is on the size and scope of government. There's a lot of things that I could say about this. Thomas Hobbes, he believed that government was necessary because men were inherently self-serving and evil, um, and that left to their own designs, that the world would be anarchy, and the state of nature, men would it'd be Lord of the Flies. I don't necessarily know that I believe that. John C. Calhoun has some really interesting stuff about government in his disquisition on government. And he says that Hobbes is correct, but that he's missing out on the fact that men, and in their very nature, are a social animal. Wherever two or three men form, a government will form because there has to be an order. Men create order, right? And the problem is that order grows to the point where it will always advantage the few at the expense of the many, right? It's always going to grow to aggrandize one faction over another. And the point of a just government is to prevent that from happening and to protect rights. Um, the the item that is used to protect those rights, in Calhoun's view, no matter what it is, whether it's a written piece of paper or it's a tradition of code of conduct, or but that whatever restricts government, according to John C. Calhoun, is a constitution. So I think that our government is too big in the United States. I don't think it was ever intended to be this big. Even in the Constitution, they had no idea the size and the scope that the government would grow to. Um, but the Federalists, in my opinion, were betrayers to the revolutionary principles. The Anti-Federalists were correct in almost everything that they said. If you go through the Anti-Federalist papers and you read their complaints and their worries, almost everything that they said came to fruition. Um, at the beginning of the Civil War, when secession was going on, you hear a lot of them say, "Well, these Anti-Federalists were correct. This is happening." Um, I think that this country could use a smaller government. So I'm not entirely an Anglo-Saxonist, but I have always felt like the feudal system, or an Anglo-Saxon system found in the high Anglo-Saxon period, that is the natural state of government for Western Europeans. Federalism is just a codified form of much the same thing. And I think that we wear our republic and our constitution like a veneer. I think when times get hard, we revert back to those things. I think the only way that governments can exist and be just is if they're smaller. Today, we have a lot of issues with the Supreme Court. Um, that, what is it, the 14th Amendment they passed? It said all the states have to follow the Constitution, but the Constitution was a negative charter that was made to hold the federal government down. So now we have instances where states like New York, they can't ban guns. States like Louisiana have to deal with states, New York and California, trying to tell them how to live their life. The reality is America is too large and too regionally different for one central government to rule over everything. My life is completely different here in Western Louisiana than the life of somebody in Massachusetts or the life of somebody in California. I have no desire to regulate them. So the states' rights argument posed by the Anti-Federalist was the correct argument. The smaller the government, the more just it can be. Anyways, that's it for me tonight. I really enjoyed the class. Uh, it was very, very interesting. Wish you well in all your endeavors, and I'll see you later. Bye.